If you think India is the peak of chaos and lack of hygiene, wait until you meet Bangladesh. This country not only challenges any notion of organization and cleanliness, it redefines the concept of survival under extreme conditions. In today's video, we are going to reveal 12 shocking facts about one of the most densely populated, polluted, and unsanitary places on the planet. So put on your mask and gloves and get ready for an adventure full of extremely bizarre and surprising things. But before we start, leave your like and subscribe to the channel. It costs nothing and motivates me to keep bringing amazing content for you. The Bay of Bengal to the south. The country is characterized by predominantly flat and low-lying geography, with extensive alluvial plains formed by the Ganges, Brahmaputra, and Meghna rivers that flow through its territory. Known as the Land of Rivers, Bangladesh has more than 700 rivers flowing through its land. These rivers play a crucial role in the daily lives of its inhabitants, serving as transportation routes, sources of irrigation for agriculture, and fishing sites, which is one of the country's main economic activities. Number 2. Population density. Bangladesh is the 8th most populous country in the world, and also the most densely populated, with a relatively small area of approximately 148,000 square kilometers and a population of over 160 million. This results in a population density of over 1,100 people per square kilometer. For comparison, Bangladesh is almost the same size as the state of Chira in Brazil, but with a population 20 times larger. This makes Bangladesh one of the most crowded places on the planet. Number 3. Slave labor. The textile industry is one of the country's most important sectors, with Bangladesh being one of the largest exporters of clothing in the world. Renowned brands such as Zara, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Burberry, and Prada produce part of their collections in Bangladesh, attracted by the low production costs. However, these factories operate under harsh and often unsanitary working conditions. Workers earn extremely low wages, usually between $50 and $100 per month, while facing long workdays that reach 12 or even 14 hours a day. Moreover, workers are often exposed to chemicals without any protection. The life expectancy of some of these workers does not exceed 50 years due to continuous exposure to toxic environments. Number 4. Ship graveyard. If you already considered working in the textile industry an absurd scenario, prepare yourself for something even more shocking. Bangladesh hosts the largest ship graveyard in the world, located in the city of Chittagong. In this place, immense cargo ships and oil tankers are dismantled piece by piece in an activity as dangerous as it is impressive. The dismantling is done almost entirely by hand by workers who, without proper protection, handle heavy metals, toxic waste, and even radioactive materials. Most of the workers come from rural areas and are drawn to the sector by the promise of employment. However, the earnings are low, and the workdays are long and exhausting, without guaranteed labor rights. Besides the health dangers faced by the workers, such as respiratory problems and diseases caused by exposure to chemical and metallic waste, shipbreaking also causes serious environmental damage. It pollutes the sea and harms local communities. If you're enjoying the video, leave your like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Number 5. Cuisine. Just like in India, the lack of hygiene in Bangladesh can be a significant concern, especially in street markets where sanitary conditions are often precarious. On the streets of the country, it is common to find a wide variety of foods being prepared and sold in improvised stalls without a shred of hygiene. These stalls offer a diversity of traditional dishes, such as pithas, rice balls, fuchka, stuffed dough balls, and chotpati, a mixture of chickpeas and spices. Furthermore, the water used to cook and wash ingredients is often untreated, and most of the people who sell street food wash the utensils right there with the sewage water that runs along the sidewalk. Number 6. Transportation. Public transportation also leaves much to be desired. Old buses, some decades old, are common, and their maintenance is minimal. These vehicles are often overcrowded, carrying passengers far beyond their capacity in uncomfortable and unsafe conditions. Rickshaws, bicycles adapted with a passenger cabin, are one of the most popular means of transportation in Bangladesh, especially in Dhaka, the capital. Driven mainly by thin men who face the hard task of transporting passengers long distances under the intense sun, it is an exhausting and poorly paid activity. Additionally, overcrowded trains are a striking feature of the transportation system in Bangladesh, reflecting the high demand for mobility in a densely populated country. During peak periods, the trains become so crowded that passengers often travel in extreme conditions, occupying not only the inside of the wagons, but also the roofs of the trains and hanging onto the sides. Number 7. Capital Dhaka. The capital of Bangladesh is one of the most densely populated and chaotic cities in the world, where more than 20 million people live in a limited space marked by suffocating traffic, intense pollution, and precarious infrastructure. The streets are constantly congested with rickshaws, cars, and pedestrians, fighting for every inch of asphalt amid a deafening noise. Traffic lights are rare, and vehicle flow is usually controlled by police officers who try to coordinate traffic manually in the midst of a sea of honking and risky maneuvers. The lack of basic sanitation is visible in the streets, with open sewers and piles of garbage accumulating in the poorest neighborhoods. However, Dhaka is also the economic heart of the country. With a vibrant textile industry that employs millions, even under harsh conditions and minimum wages, the city mixes a rich cultural heritage with its ancient mosques and traditional markets. There is a challenging urban rhythm, making it a fascinating and extreme experience for those who venture into its intense and unpredictable streets. Number 8. Natural disasters. Bangladesh is one of the most vulnerable countries to natural disasters, facing frequent cyclones, floods, and earthquakes due to its geographical location and topographic features. Additionally, Bangladesh is located near several tectonic faults, making it prone to earthquakes, which can further exacerbate the damage caused by other disasters. The combination of these natural factors puts constant pressure on the country's emergency infrastructure and recovery resources, highlighting the urgent need for effective mitigation and adaptation strategies. Number 9. Air quality. Being a small country, but with an enormous population, Bangladesh often ranks at the top of the list of countries with the worst air quality in the world, with Dhaka, the capital, being one of the most affected cities. Air pollution is driven by several factors, including vehicle emissions, unregulated industries, the burning of waste and biomass, and dust from construction works. Fine particles, PM 2.5, and other pollutants frequently exceed the limits recommended by the World Health Organization, resulting in toxic air that causes serious public health problems. Number 10. Cultural practices. In the country, hygiene practices and cultural customs are deeply rooted in people's traditions and daily lives. A notable custom is the use of water instead of toilet paper for cleaning after using the bathroom, which is considered more hygienic and environmentally friendly. Additionally, eating with the hands is a common practice in the country. For them, using the right hand to eat is considered a way to connect with the food and better appreciate the flavors. This habit is also linked to religious and cultural traditions, where the right hand is seen as cleaner and more appropriate for actions such as eating. Number 11. Poverty. The economy of Bangladesh is sustained by the textile industry, which drives exports and represents a significant part of the gross domestic product. However, this economic growth is misleading for most Bengalis who live in extreme poverty. Despite producing clothing for luxury brands and being one of the largest tea exporters in the world, the majority of workers live on miserable wages. Most Bengali families survive on less than $2 per day, an amount that does not allow the purchase of sufficient or quality food. These conditions force families to live in precarious housing, often shared with other families in areas without adequate sanitation. The struggle for survival becomes a daily routine for these people, who face a reality with no prospects for economic advancement. Number 12. Husband sharing. Bangladesh is full of ethnic groups, and one in particular draws a lot of attention. The Mandi tribe, also known as the Garo, has a curious cultural practice of husband sharing that still persists in some of their communities. In this practice, a woman can share her husband with her sister or another close female relative, ensuring that all women, especially those without partners, have the opportunity to form a family and have children. This tradition has roots in their matrilineal structure, where inheritance and community leadership are passed down through the female line, and it also helps balance the gender ratio in situations where the male population is lower. It is quite something, isn't it? And you, would you like to participate in this practice of sharing a husband? These facts show how Bangladesh faces intense challenges in every aspect: overpopulation, pollution, precarious infrastructure, and natural disasters. It is a country where survival demands daily resilience, revealing the strength of a people who persist despite adversity. Now tell us, what caught your attention the most? If you made it to the end of this video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. This encourages me to keep bringing more content. See you in the next video.